mamma mia.
Already starting out with the stereotype.
What is up, everybody? Ladies and gentlemen, it is Taco Tuesday. You know what that means. You are now experiencing distance nerding. I am the young Phil, and I'm with Jen, the Fray girl. And guys, we're here
to nerd
together. She did it so much faster. We're talking anything pop culture, news, movies, music, food, wrestling, comics, Comic-Cons, whatever you're nerding out on. We want to talk. It's time for starting rumors. So let's get banned in a country that we're not really worried about getting banned in.
1 foot in Russia, 1 foot out. Belarus.
Right. Yeah. Getting down to Belarus. Getting banned in Belarus.
Banned in Belarus. Banned in Belarus. Banned in Belarus. Banned in Belarus.
I can't wait to the end of the episode when we get that notification that says you have been banned in multiple countries, and then I open it up and it just says Belarus.
Belarus. You know, we love Belarus. We're just sad that they don't love us back. I can't believe it.
Sure.
After all we've done for Belarus.
Yeah, I absolutely love dictators. That's.
I couldn't tell you where it is on a map.
It's close
or
to
a globe.
It's close to Russia, and it is. They boast themselves as the country with. Well, I mean, it's not true anymore, but he called himself the last true dictator. The president.
Is it because he has a penis?
And he's a potato? Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. Okay. Well, you know what? Let's get into the rumors. Let's stop talking about a country that likes to ban us.
Yeah. So let's get into this this first kind of story-ish here, because it's some exciting stuff. Cryptic vibes, creepy woods, and demogorgons with daddy issues. Finn Wolfhard teases the Twin Peaks inspired spinoff while the final season kicks off with the craziest cold open we've ever done. Expect upside down weirdness, cryptic vibes, and possibly a demigorgon in a flannel. If this ends with 11 whispering fire walk with me, we'll send. Bonus points if Steve gets a dream sequence with a backward talking Dustin. It all sounds absolutely fucking bonkers. So guys, and then when I say guys, I mean the chat too. I mean the chat too. Tacos on the table, ladies and gentlemen. Are we entering a cryptic era of Hawkins, or is the smoke with no upside down fire?
Yeah.
Is this smoke with no upside down fire? Sorry,
That was a little like I think I maybe overwrote that just a little.
It's okay.
Just a tiny bit.
But
yeah, no, I'm sorry. I had to go full on Twin Peaks for this because you have to. When someone says there's a potential Twin Peaks spinoff, you gotta do it. All right. Well, my tacos.
I was gonna say, I wonder if they put it in the same universe.
Well, I would think that they would have to. I mean, Stranger Things. If you have a Twin Peaks. Oh, you mean like the Twin Peaks? That would be amazing.
Right?
Sorry, I can't believe I didn't put those together sooner.
Yeah, that Twin Peaks and Stranger Things. I mean, they take place in different time eras. So I mean, like,
yeah, it's true. Maybe they are. What if we find out after all of this that Agent Cooper is either related to one of the kids or related to like a Winona Ryder's or even David Harbour's character? Like maybe could be related, like a distant cousin or something. That might be cool.
That'd be interesting. Sorry,
I can't believe.
Yeah, you're talking about your tacos here. So go ahead.
Well, I haven't watched. I haven't watched Stranger Things since season 1.
Really?
Because I feel like I lived it. I lived a lot of it.
No, it gets progressively just somewhat more unhinged, but like it just, the story progresses well. It's really good.
I didn't dislike it. It was just something that I was like, I lived through the era, and I just feel like it's just not something I like to revisit. It's
No.
not a revisiting type of thing. I don't know. Maybe I'll give it a try. Like after it's finished,
Mhm.
I'll give it a try. But yeah, I don't know. Mm, I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So I'm just gonna say sure. Let's put all the tacos. Let's put the demi gorgon meat tacos on the table.
Ooh, that would be disgusting. They'd be tough.
Fillet those puppies. Fillet
Oh,
'em.
man. Um, yeah, I mean, I like the idea of it being just kinda going into that direction, especially being it's the last season, it's that they did a time jump, and we're getting into the late '80s. They're, like, all I think they're saying that they're all college students at this point.
Well, I mean, they were growing up faster than they were able to film.
Yeah.
So
Well, there was
yeah,
there
absolutely.
there there was about 3 years in between one of the seasons, so they, like,
Yeah.
yeah, they had to, like, jump in there. If you look at them, like, in the last season, they all look grown, and it's like, okay, well, it's 3 seasons from when they filmed that, so they're all gonna look like adults.
Yeah. I mean, they kinda had to do it.
Yeah, Gaten Matarazzo has, like, a full beard now, so it's like, yeah, no, you can't do that.
Right, yeah. Absolutely. I mean, back then, there were kids in high school that had full beards.
They're just
I
growing it
mean,
out.
I'm just saying, that's but then, like, usually if you do shows like that and it's, like, the senior year or final year of high school, it can be a real dud. So you don't really want to do that. I kind of like that they're jumping because then you don't have the, oh, we all graduated. You just kind of get, oh yeah, we graduated. Now here's our life now. So I think that I like that because it's a different, it's like you go in at certain parts of their lives, which I always find a lot easier than, year by year by year. But that's neither here nor there. You know what we should do? We should go from Hawkins to hyperspace. Let's talk Jedi futures and galactic resets, shall we?
Oh, yeah.
We
Oh.
got to change the thing. There we go. So they know what we're talking about. Not everybody listens to us, they just look at the pictures. Lucasfilm's rumored post Skywalker era centers on Rey's new Jedi Order with a Mandoverse style roll. If Grogu doesn't show up as a tiny battle hardened Jedi general, we're sending a strongly worded hologram. Like that Mon Mothma one in Rebels. You know the one. All right. Give us High Republic aesthetics, Knights of the Old Republic lore drops, and a Jedi Council that actually reads the room. Tacos on the table. Are we genuinely excited about Rey leading a new Jedi Order? Or does this feel like Lucasfilm trying to retroactively fix the sequel trilogy? I mean, I guess they both could be true.
Yeah.
They're not. What's that? Where one would be true. They're not exclusive. That doesn't make sense. Never mind. You just go.
They're not
What do you think,
mutually
Bill?
exclusive. Yeah, no, so I don't have an issue with seeing more Rey, and, she was essentially Luke Skywalker for a new generation. There are kids who love these movies as much as a lot of, like, our generation or generations before, were not into these movies per se. Ray is a lot of kids, they grew up loving Ray as a character, and I would love to see
Yeah.
more development on her, and seeing, like, what she does to lead a new era of Jedi, especially
Mhm.
because I mean, like, she kind of, like the way she brought herself up was more, like, in the gray area than light and dark, and
Yeah.
I wanna see that expanded on a little bit more.
Yeah. So I didn't have huge problems with the sequel trilogy.
Mhm,
Um, the only then the prequel trilogy had some good parts to me. Now, granted, I was a original trilogy girl,
mhm.
um, but I hmm, I'm excited about it. I want to see where they go with it. I feel like they put so much into the Skywalkers that now like it's like the Skywalker legacy now. It's not none of the Skywalkers are really around anymore. It's just Rey, and it's whatever, and how Rey is honoring them. And so I'd like to see what she does and how she interprets it. And if, what would be really cool is if she isn't like, you get the Luke Skywalker coming back as a Force ghost and going, "Yeah, no, this is not a Skywalker thing. Why are you doing it like this?" And that kind of give and take occasionally with her and Luke because they established that. I would love to see something like that.
So,
So I do think that they are trying to fix it, but I think that Dave Filoni did that for the prequel trilogy for people. And the people that are, not OG trilogy fans, but the prequel trilogy fans, they're the ones that seem to have hate the sequel trilogy the most, and it's like, "Oh, you guys are where we were with the prequel trilogy." And so I just find it very cute. So I find it
so,
adorable, actually. So
so something crazy that popped up the other day. So, someone was talking about how in the novelization of The Force Awakens,
mhm,
they talked about how so Snoke was not a clone of Palpatine.
mhm.
Snoke was a clone that was made from Luke's severed hand.
Oh. Oh, that's
Yeah.
kinda neat.
Right? Now, here's the other thing
Hmm.
is that the clone of Palpatine that was his son
Yeah.
was also a clone of Luke's hand.
So she is technically
So
part Skywalker.
that's what they were saying is that this is how tangentially they didn't explain in the movies, it was in the novelizations, but, like, tangentially, she is technically a Skywalker because she is the daughter of a clone of Luke Skywalker's hand.
Mm. This
So
is what happens when you get into cloning.
yeah, and it's like it's crazy stuff, right? Again, it's always Palpatine trying to, mess with cloning in order to get a stronger version of what he's trying to get. So, like, that's what General Grievous was. General Grievous was him trying to take midichlorians from Cypher Dyas, infuse them in a being that wasn't force sensitive, that was a warrior but wasn't force sensitive, and add in cybernetics to try and enhance him. And that's why Grievous was the experiment that led to Vader.
Oh. Huh.
Oh yeah, that's established canon. Grievous was the experiment that Palpatine was trying to create that led to, oh, I've got this half body of Anakin Skywalker, and I want to make these, robot force user hybrids that I can basically wield more power over, right? Vader was the culmination of what he was trying to create.
Yeah. Well, I
And
mean,
so
yeah.
yeah, and so the same thing, he was trying to do force experiments with Luke's hand to create strong clones of, "Oh, well, Luke Skywalker, his son is stronger than the father, so how
Yeah.
do I get a version of how do I do this?" But where 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 Sheev's problem is that he's trying to clone a hand that doesn't have all the midichlorians that Luke has.
Yeah, it's just got the hand
It's
midichlorians. It
got
doesn't
the
have the
hand.
rest of it.
Exactly, it's a hand
It's
model.
just
So,
the hand.
yeah,
It's
so
literally the pinky.
yeah. So yeah, I mean, my talk was on the table. I am excited to see this. I want to see them kind of like go more into that lore and explain more of that because then you have all these people who are pissed off that are like, well, she was never a Skywalker. Well, technically she is.
Yeah, yeah.
In with technicalities, she technically is a Skywalker, and people were probably going to hate that, but it is what it is.
Well, they're gonna hate whatever. It doesn't matter what what people do. People are gonna hate something. It
Right.
it seems like that's the new thing, but not us, because we don't do that. We don't hate on things. We might complain, but we don't hate.
Right, right, right. Let's go ahead and move on to the next story here. Drop the lightsabers because we're going to drop them now and pick up a crowbar because Gotham is calling. Zach Krager's rumored DCU debut, Henchman, follows a low-level Gotham goon who accidentally
You
takes
lost your
down
place.
Batman. I did. Who accidentally takes down Batman and becomes a criminal legend. It's giving Joker meets Home Alone with a splash of "Oops, I'm iconic." If this guy ends up with a nickname like the Bat Tripper, or he needs a nickname like the Bat Tripper, or we're gonna riot. So bonus points if Calendar Man shows up just to complain.
Bonus points of count. Yeah.
Yeah, tacos on the table. Didn't they do this already? Wasn't this the man who killed Batman? Remember Sid the Squid accidentally taking out the bat and becoming Gotham's most wanted? Or yeah, is that what they're doing right here? If I'm hoping Zach Krager's henchman is just kind of rifling that idea around. Are we into that?
Or riffing it. He's
Yeah.
riffing it. He's
Are,
riffing on it. Yeah.
are we into that? Do we think that would be like a cool idea? Like, oh, hey, we're just going to do the man who killed the bat.
I loved that episode. I think that's probably one of my favorite episodes of the Batman the Animated Series.
Mhm.
I really love that because, like, the way that Sid is like, but I didn't mean to. I didn't do it on purpose. And then, like, he's just like, and then, like, he gets bigger and bigger, and he's just like, oh my God. And then he meets Batman again at the end, and Batman's like, you didn't take me out. What the hell? And he's like, oh, thank goodness. Can you please just lock me in Arkham Asylum? Oh my God, it's a great episode.
Just lock me away. I'm a detriment to society.
Yeah, he is just like, I felt like he needed like a panic attack medicine because he was having it. So if they want to do that, I mean, basically it's a fanfic at this point because I think he just wrote it and I don't even think James Gunn has read it yet. So I think it's up James Gunn's alley, so I'm gonna put my tacos on the table for it, even though it really is kind of a rehash of, the man who killed Batman. Uh, it's still a compelling story, and I think they have a lot of places to go there. I don't know when it'll be done though, because they haven't even cast Batman yet, so I'm
Yeah,
into it,
script. So
but I'm calling it what it is.
okay.
You didn't expect me to be done, did you?
No, no, no. It's like I'm calling it what it is.
I don't need to say it. Everybody knows. It's a rehash.
All right, well, let's go ahead and move on here. We got next story coming up.
Did you put your tacos on the table?
I did.
Oh, okay. All right. From bat blunders to bug suits, we're swinging into Marvel's messiest neighborhood. Frank Castle might be leading the hand, Scorpion suiting up comic style, and Michael Mando's teasing a Venom twist. If
Interesting.
Brand New Day delivers on all of this, it's less friendly neighborhood and more violent vigilante multiverse. We're talking Shadowland vibes, Ultimate Spider-Man chaos, and maybe a nod to Gargan's savage symbiote run from the Dark Avengers era.
Ooh, that would be
Tacos on the table. Is this the darkest Spidey movie yet? Or Marvel throwing every street level villain at the wall to see who sticks?
I'm hoping. I mean, like, if we're gonna get a comic book accurate Matt Gargan, it's gonna be so weird to watch him walking around with this giant scorpion tail. You know?
Right?
Yeah, it's gonna be so weird, but at the same time, like, we've gotten a comic book accurate version of Lizard, so it's not far-fetched to see them do something with Matt Gargan like that. Um Venom, I'm hit or miss. It's they need to do him right because we have not gotten I mean, they got close with the last iteration, but it also didn't have anything to do with like Venom's origin and anything like that. So like it was a cool take on a new version of Venom, but it wasn't Venom. And that's kind of like
Yeah.
what I want, like I want more of that. I would love to see a savage symbiote with Matt Gargan. And just with all those different, I mean, there's so many different characters that we're supposed to be getting. Punisher, it's going to be interesting to see that because I mean, I think what they're saying, from what I understand, it's supposed to be Punisher's hunting Matt Gargan, and Spider-Man stops him from killing him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I hear that, and then there's also, like, there were rumors about ninjas, and it was like, "Who what? What group has ninjas? Oh, that's the Hand. Oh, maybe we're gonna get" yeah, it's like, maybe we're gonna get Punisher leads the Hand. I mean, he did in the comics, so it's not like,
But
but then
they haven't
how
done
do they
that in the
do
TV on the show yet. I mean, there's a
yeah,
possibility because he talks about recruiting an army at the end of the season. Spoilers for people who haven't watched the show that's been out for how many months now? But I mean,
it's
like,
been a while. It's been
yeah,
a while. You all should have watched it by now.
right. But the thing is like, okay, so if we're going that route, and I feel like the teaser when he said he needs to get an army was that they were bringing the Defenders back, especially now that we know that Jessica Jones
Yeah.
is coming back. Like, I think that's more of a Defenders thing. But if it's him recruiting the Hand, and in season 2 it's him leading the Hand, that would be something interesting.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they're gonna wait until it's like he's gonna get the Defenders first,
Mhm,
and then, they have that, like, half season cliffhanger thing that they like to do now, like, the halfway through, it's like something is a twist and then it moves on, that the Hand comes in towards the back end of the season,
mhm,
and he has to decide which evil he wants to work with to to overcome the other evil. Does he wanna work with the Hand, or does he want to work with Fisk to get rid of the Hand, like that? And so
right,
I think that's interesting. If they do have Punisher with the Hand in this, the Punisher could bring the Hand into the 2nd season, and then that's how the Hand comes into it, and that's when Matt has his, because he hasn't had any kind of existential crisis for what, 2 episodes or something? I don't know. It's time for him to have another one, obviously. So I think
I
that
mean, that
either
whole
way, I
season
like it.
that whole first
I
season was Matt having an e existential crisis.
I know, I was being sarcastic. It was it's meant to be that he's always having one.
Right, right,
Always. I
right.
mean, like, that 2nd season, he's in that freaking church, and, like, for the whole freaking season, basically, and you're just like, "Oh my gosh, can you please get out of the Catholicism for a minute?"
That's
I
never
mean
gonna happen. It's so embedded in
I
his
know,
character, like, you're never gonna have him get out of
but I
that
don't need
mode.
to have a church. I don't need him to be in a church every episode. I'm like, "Dude, come on." I liked how they handled it in season 4. I mean, season 1 of Daredevil Born Again.
I was gonna
Where he
say
goes to the
season 3,
church, but it's not, he doesn't go in. It's kinda like, "Hey, I'm remembering this,
yeah,
but, we're
season
not talking
3
about it as much."
season 3 was, like, the same thing. It was, like, towards the end,
Yeah,
he finds out that his mom is a
yeah.
nun, and it's just and she's in the nunnery, and that becomes, like, more of, like, oh, yeah, more Catholic overtones and everything 'cause you're never gonna get away with that with his character.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, but
That's
I'm just saying that
so
and,
embedded.
here's go ahead.
No, I was saying it's so embedded in Matt in the way that his Catholic upbringing is what makes him the way he is.
No, I know. I was joking. That really honestly was a joke because I love how he is. If he didn't have his Catholic guilt, he would not be the Daredevil that we know, but
Absolutely.
he would. No, what I was gonna say is the most shocking thing about his mom being a nun is that she was also married for a time to Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she was. So well. Too bad. So sad. What's
Let
next?
let's go ahead and move on here.
I don't think we put any tacos on any table with that one, but I don't care. It was fantastic.
Oh, well, what were we talking here? Is that, oh, yeah, yes, I think this is gonna be dark as all hell. Because
Yeah,
again,
I think it's gonna be super dark.
the way that they're describing the way that the Punisher is gonna be in this, and that, every description has been that, it's gonna be Peter trying to stop Punisher from killing somebody. It's like this is gonna
Yeah.
get dark. This is gonna get really dark.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun for us, but not for Peter.
Yeah, because you're trying to stop a madman like Frank Castle. It's like, no. Matt couldn't
I
do it.
don't
You
know.
really think he's gonna do it?
Maybe Peter's like positive optimism is gonna have an impact. I can't even finish that sentence.
Yeah.
He's
Or his
gonna like
single's gonna get his ass
Frank's
beat.
gonna Frank's gonna corrupt Peter, and that might get us to where Peter is ready for the Venom symbiote. Just FYI, that's something that I just came up with. You know what? Let's move on because we're
Yeah.
still talking about symbiotes.
Yeah, let's go.
It's you.
Oh, that's me. Oh, that is me. Speaking of symbiotes with attitude, because they're Rangers. Joke. Get it? No? It was a
Yeah,
stretch.
yeah.
Sony's cooking up animated R-rated Venom and Spider-Woman spin-offs, riding the Spider-Punk wave. Seth Rogen's reportedly involved, so expect symbiotes with sass, chaos, and possibly a bong. If this leans into Maximum Carnage territory with the heavy metal animation style, we're in for a glorious mess. Fingers crossed for a Spider-Ham cameo that's somehow even darker. Because if you've ever read a Spider-Ham thing, he eats bacon. It's weird. Tacos on the table. Are we in for a glorious mess or a genre-defining swing?
Look, if Army Hammer can like
We're going to talk about Army Hammer and his cannibalism allegations.
if he can do that and still make movies in Hollywood, then why can't Spider Ham have a little bacon? Bacon is much more delicious, y'all. Not that I've ever had long pig, but just sorry, that went so wrong so quickly, and it was all my fault, and I really appreciate y'all going on that journey with me. I think it's gonna be a glorious mess. I can't wait. I cannot wait for Spider-Woman to do all of the weird poses and, everybody get really upset that her butt looks as big as it does.
Do you think we're getting Jessica Drew?
I hope so. I hope it gets I have been waiting for Jessica Drew for I don't know how long. I want her out. I want them to find out she's a Skrull. I want her to have her redemption arc. And I'm sorry, I just love playing her in all of the Avengers video games that she's in. I love playing her. I love it. She's like my favorite character. So bring me Jessica Drew.
Yeah.
Bring me the head of Jessica Drew.
Give me the head of Jessica Drew. I've been saying I want to see Jessica Drew. I also want to see Ben. I want to see Ben Riley.
Yeah.
Like, really
Yeah.
bad. I mean, we got him in Spider-Verse, but I would love
Mhm.
to see like a full-on Ben Riley and just Peter freaking out that there's a clone of him somewhere.
Yeah. And Peter would freak out about that. I mean, especially I would love to see Tom Holland's like Spider-Man's reaction, like his. Tobey Maguire would be way too cool about it. Andrew Garfield would be like cloning. Oh, scientifically, that's an interesting study, and he would like totally like egghead it. But
This
Tom
is like the
Holland's
eraser.
Peter, yeah, he would be like, "You did what? How did you get my DNA? What is going on? Aunt May? Oh no, she's dead. Did you get my DNA from Aunt May after she died? What the?" I mean, he would full panic mode, and I want it.
This is like that old movie, The Eraser. He would just piss off all the millennials in there. Like,
Yeah.
oh man.
I knew you were watching me. Okay. Now let's raise the stakes and the undead. Oh wait, did you want to say?
I said enough. I already said that. You know, I mean, Jessica Drew would be great. I said this last week, and it's like, or maybe like 2 weeks ago. I'm just interested in seeing what Seth Rogen's going to do with this. And
Yeah.
if he does something, if they go Maximum Carnage, I am going to lose my shit because I want them to go full comic book Maximum Carnage. I want to see Hobgoblin. I want to see Doppelganger. I want to see Shriek. I want to see all the characters that riddle that series of books. And I want the iconic. If you read that book series, I want that iconic, Venom hanging from the Statue of Liberty
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
when
Yeah,
Carnage
yeah.
beat the crap out of him and he tied him up and hung him from the Statue of Liberty.
Oh, yeah, that
Yeah, so, like,
that would be amazing.
yeah, 'cause I wanna see that. I wanna see and I wanna see an unhinged, monstrous Carnage. I wanna see the Carnage that believes that he believes in chaos theory and believes that the only way for order to exist is for chaos to exist, and he's an agent of chaos. He creates disorder so that there can be order, and he just has this
Mm.
weird, unhinged look at society and how things should work.
Yeah, I know. He's kinda like Lex.
God, he's Lex if Lex were in the body of a serial killer. I mean, Lex kind of is in an extent, but he's not like an implicit serial killer the way that Cletus Cassidy is.
Let him cook. Let him cook.
Yeah, because Cletus Cassidy is a sociopath to the nth degree.
That's yeah, that's true. Oh, well, we're not gonna figure this out tonight, so now let's raise the stakes and the undead.
Oh yeah.
Thor, Black Panther, and Namor join the undead roster in Marvel's TVMA zombie series, led by Scarlet Witch as the Dead Queen. It's the Avengers, but they're hungry and not for justice. I think it's brains. I'm pretty sure it's brains. If they pull from the Marvel Zombies 3 arc, we might get Machine Man slicing through undead Cap with zero chill. Also, Zombie Thor better still be worthy just to make it weird. Tacos on the table. Is this Marvel's goriest swing yet? Or just a Halloween special with extra teeth?
I I'm excited for this just because it's something different and it's a take that the comic run was really just weird and out of left field. But I enjoyed it, I mean, maybe it's because Deadpool had such a big role in it too, so it's kind of like,
Yeah.
there's like the almost like famous thing of Deadpool being walked around like the zombies from The Walking Dead, but he's like sitting there annoying people.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm not a fan of zombies. I'm not a horror fan. I'm not. It's weird because every time I say that, then I'm like, well, I have watched all of these. I've watched all the Conjuring series.
Mhm.
And I'm still not a fan of horror, guys. Still not. I just watch a lot of stuff. Really, that's it. But I it's an interesting idea. I agree with you on that. I do think it's a big swing, but if we look back at the animated stuff that the MCU has done up to this point, they're all big swings. So, like the Eyes of Wakanda or What If? Like What If was so cool, and we knew going into it, "Oh, hey, this isn't gonna impact anything in 616, so we can just enjoy this." We don't have to like, "Oh, what did you see? Did you see an Easter egg? Oh my god, does this mean this is happening? Is this happening?" Da, 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 because we knew it wasn't going to. These were other universes.
Mhm.
So I think but what it did do is it primed us or prepped us for the multiverse saga. So I'm wondering if Marvel Zombies is preparing us because they did it a little in Doctor Strange Mom, but I'm wondering if it isn't priming us for the more horror aspects because we got Man-Thing now, we got Werewolf by Night, we're getting more into the horror aspects. Blade supposedly is coming, I don't know, we keep hearing about it, but I have no idea. But there's a lot of stuff. I mean, even the Black Knight is, very mystical and part of that horror thing. Ghost Rider's been talked about, horror, mysticism. I think this could be just priming us for that, getting us ready for, "Oh, hey, guess what? There's gonna be zombies, we're gonna have vampires, there's a werewolf," you know? Rah, rah. Monsters are cool now. So I think that's where they're going, and I like it. So
Yeah. No, my tacos are on the table just because I really think that they're gonna go full swing in this. They are going full gore. They're going full horror because I think they've been leading to it for a while, and I think that this is their horror light. Being that they can get away with a lot more in animation than they can with live action, and
yeah,
they know that they can.
yeah,
So, I feel like they are trying to see how far can they go down the road before they start bringing in actual horror characters.
right, yeah, and I like Eyes of Wakanda being more historical, like, and anthology-wise, like, it has that really thin thread through it because it's all war dogs, spoiler alert, but it's the same way. It doesn't really impact anything going forward.
Mhm,
What it shows is what happened to make sure that that what happened in Wakanda happened. That's really it. But other than that, like, cute little, like, nod, there's not anything else in there that you're like, "Oh, well, you know, has a big impact on the story going forward." It really doesn't. So, I do feel like the animation isn't to move the story forward, but I think it is to prepare us for things. And so I feel like all of that, like, that's how they're using the animation, and I have to say it's pretty clever.
mhm.
So, do I guess I can tip my imaginary hat. Oh, wait, I have a hat. Hold on. I'm putting the hat on over my thing. I tip my hat to you, Brad Winderbaum.
Nice. Nice. I dig it. Well, that is
Thanks.
it for that is it for the rumors, guys. So let's jump into the next portion here, guys. We got some news to talk about. So let's jump into all of that. It's time for the download. Well, of course,
For
for
more
all
news, trailers, reactions, check out the Distance Nerdington post. Let us know what you're nerding out on. I got to it before you. Ha ha.
you definitely did, so we were starting to go at the same time. Well, this is casting cash. Our hearts are quickening this week with all of the casting.
She'll
Take it
like
away.
that. The quickening. Yeah, there you
Yeah,
go.
I did like the
Right.
quickening.
First up, Dave Bautista swinging for two cult classic at once. He's set to clash swords with Henry Cavill as the Kurgan in Highlander. Then trade blades for fists in Roadhouse 2, teaming with Jake Gyllenhaal under Nobody's Ilya Naishuller. Immortal rage and barroom brawls, Batista's got range. I
Yeah,
actually like it. And I actually really like this picture because it kind of shows very like a similar comfortableness with their bodies. Like, how Clancy Brown is really he looks like he's really sitting in that armor and how Dave Batista is just sitting in his body. It's very similar. I like it. I'm sorry for those of you who haven't watched the YouTube one, but the picture is amazing.
I imagine like I can imagine what Dave Bautista is going to look like because they're going to update that armor. It's going to look
Oh yeah.
a lot more formidable. Not that Clancy Brown's armor wasn't formidable, but I mean like it it was an 80s movie and a lot of times like the
Mhm.
armor seems a little clunky.
Yeah, I wonder if it's gonna be more like leather on leather and maybe a little like things cut out a little more. I mean, he's what the Kurgan's supposed to be what? Blah, blah, Carpathian.
Yeah.
So then that would be more leather to me. So I'm wondering if they're gonna not do the metal, like the metal as much, and it might be a little bit more leather, and he's gonna have a really cool like very big headdress type thing. But I think he's doing good. He can be really terrifying when he wants to be,
Yeah.
and I think that that's why he got the role. I mean, I think he can do it.
there's something
So,
about his subtleness and kind of like the way that he can he can he can play, kind of like Quiet Storm really well.
yeah, yeah.
You know,
But then
he
he can also, like, when Drax remember when Drax would, like, get into his I'm so sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. Go
I'll
ahead.
say it after. No, I
I was done.
apologize, I
I
cut
w
you off.
I
Okay.
was done. You're good.
Alright. So when, Drax got like, would get into those rages, like, when he was going after Thanos and stuff and you couldn't stop him, I mean, granted, he was green and red, so he wasn't as terrifying as he could be,
Mhm.
but he was terrifying. He was like, you were like, "Oh, you gotta stop him. He's gonna kill someone. Dude's gonna kill someone." And and that's what you need for the Kurgan. And not everybody knows the Kurgan, and not everybody knows Highlander. And I have to say this, I'm very disappointed in all of you. If you have never seen Highlander and you know who hasn't, should do.
Should
I'm
do
gonna
gotta
have to
come
get him to
and watch
watch it.
me.
Yeah, I'm disappointed in him now. Have to have him watch it because it is such an interesting movie.
Mhm.
The concept was so interesting. You really never had that before. So I just think it's cool and I'm glad they're rebooting it. And I think Henry Cavill's going to be great. And I think Dave Bautista is going to be great. And that's all I have to say about that.
Alright.
Oh, wait. So there's more. Uh, I have another one. From brute force to existential dread. Sebastian Stan is going full duality in Radu Jude's Frankenstein in Romania. He'll play both Victor Frankenstein and the creature in a story that blends gothic horror with CIA prison history. It's bold, bizarre, and maybe Stan's most daring role yet.
That's
I think
interesting.
that's interesting. Yeah, I feel like I want to say when I first like read about this, and that's why I put this in here because I had something else here. Uh, but I liked it, and I was like, oh, I want to talk about this. It's like Winter Soldier smashed with Frankenstein
It's gonna
because
be
it's got
that's
that
gonna be an interesting story.
government yeah, got that government, like, oh, government prison history. Well, Winter Soldier was in, like, on ice literally in Siberia, so I just feel like it would be a good role for him, and I think it would be something interesting for him to play in a side we may not have seen in a while.
Yeah. I didn't know somebody else was making a Frankenstein movie because, I mean, Guillermo del Toro is literally working on one right now.
Yeah. I I we go through these cycles. You remember it was Dracula back, what, 20 years ago. Everybody was into vampires and, now it's Frankenstein's turn. Next it'll be the mummy again. And who knows? Maybe we'll get a creature of the Black Lagoon out of this at some point.
We should. Closest
We
thing we got
definitely should.
closest thing we got was Guillermo del Toro.
That's true. Just give it to Del Toro. Just give it to him. Just give
Yeah.
it to him. All right. So next, a long rumored arrival finally lands. Matt Smith is officially joining the Star Wars galaxy. He'll play a cold blooded military general in Starfighter, a standalone film set 5 years after Rise of Skywalker. No force powers, just tactical menace. Smith's bringing brains and brutality to a cast that includes Ryan Gosling and Mia Goth. I really want to see Ryan Gosling and Matt Smith like in a scene together where they're on opposite sides. I just think that is going to be spectacular.
I'm curious about that chemistry and just kinda how well they work on screen.
And then I'm also like, well, so how does Mia Goth fit into this? Is she really a villain? Is she like a go between the villain and the hero? It really brings a little bit more depth to it. I'm glad they're putting him in there because I know originally wasn't he supposed to play like a clone of Palpatine or something?
I think he was, yeah.
In Rise? Yeah, something like that. So I'm glad he's getting his Star Wars, I almost said Star Trek. Woo! Star Wars cherry popped. So, and closing out with the fiery anime upgrade.
I'm excited about this one.
I have never seen any of this in my life, so
So
you'll have
good.
to do most of the talking.
It's so
Channing
good.
Tatum is it okay? Channing Tatum and Rebecca Wang are stepping into the Demon Slayer dub. Tatum voices Keizo, a martial arts master from Akaza's tragic past, while Wang plays his daughter Koyuki. The final arc kicks off in theaters September 12th, and the emotional damage is incoming.
It absolutely is. There is so much emotion, but like the action in this show is it's just it's like all determination. It is all the main character, Tanjiro, who's the one that's on screen right now. Uh
Mhm.
Tanjiro Kamado, his like superpower, I guess, because it's not like they don't really have superpowers, kind of, but like his superpower is that he just doesn't give up. Like his whole thing is there was like an entire fight sequence that happens where they break like almost every bone in his body and he keeps getting up.
I like Novocaine.
Kind of, yeah. But I mean, like he's in pain. He's in like agonizing pain. And he's
Oh,
just like,
okay.
I can't give up. Like he's just like because his whole thing is if I give up, everyone dies. You
I
know?
mean, that's some like major hero's journey kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, it's very obvious the way that they're kind of going, what we're 4 seasons in, so, like, the way that they're going with all of this is that he's some kind of chosen one, but they haven't, like, explained what the chosen one would be if there was one,
Ah, okay. All right.
you know?
So less Buffy the Vampire Slayer,
Yeah, they keep 'cause, you can see the scar on his forehead.
more Wheel of Time.
Yeah, you can see the scar on his forehead. They reference these scars and kind of like what they are every now and then, but like almost nobody knows like what it is. They know that there's significance to it, but they don't know what it actually means.
Yeah. Okay,
Right.
so Say Long has some stuff to say because you know he's got stuff to say. So
Especially when it comes to
let's
anime.
look at his first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most of the reaction is shock.
Yeah. No, and a lot of it is that he's just in pure shock when he's in all this pain because he's just moving himself along.
And then he says, "Why is he doing this? It's beneath him, etc." So he I think he's just commenting on stuff that you were saying. So, which I think is great, you know. Say
Yeah.
Long, I kind of did this for you because I know you really like
Yeah.
animes.
But I'm a big fan of Demon Slayer. And I love that the last season, rather than doing the last season as a show, they're doing. I believe they're doing a series of like 2 movies.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting that it says it kicks off in theater September 12th. So, I mean, and that's right there. It's next month.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah.
kind of cool.
So
But uh,
I'm very excited for this. Very interested. I want to see where the next chapter goes. I want to know if he kills Kibutsuji or if like in the end at the end of the story, he doesn't succeed and Kibutsuji
yeah.
wins and it continues on. Like, I'm interested in these stories where you have this entire hero's journey, but then it ends in tragedy.
I mean, but I mean, that's like that is Asian cultures. Like it doesn't always end pretty.
Right.
Like that's a totally like uh Western culture thing. Eastern cultures are like, no, no, this is meant to give you pause and make you think about stuff and not do crazy things. So I get it. But yeah, no, I love it. But I have a question for you.
Mhm.
Do you think Dave and Matt would wear our merch? Because we got merch, people.
We got merch, people. Yeah, that's right. We got merch. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on.
Too soon. I got you
Damn
again.
it. Why do you have to do that to me? Why? Every time.
It amuses me.
Every week you do this to me, and it's
I'm amused. Oh, I got like what Nadja would say. Full of sarcasm. Oh, I enjoy.
okay.
I
Oh,
enjoyed that. Oh, you said, oh, baby vampire. You shut up, baby vampire.
oh, Jesus. All
Love
right,
that.
let's. Oh man, let's move on. And just throwing this out there, that in on the game streams on Twitch, when I do the game streams, we have what's his name? It's one of the main vampires.
Like, there's so many vampires, not Dracula.
No, no, in What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, Laszlo?
Laszlo. We
Is it
have
Matt
Laszlo.
Berry? Yeah.
Yeah, we have Laszlo's voice on there, so you can make Laszlo
Oh,
say,
that's hilarious.
yeah.
I love Matt Berry. I've liked him since IT Crowd. Although apparently he was in something else that Chuck really likes that I do not like at all. It's bad. And it's got Richard Ayoade in it. I can't remember what it's called though. But it's not good. Ugh. Anyway, uh
Yeah,
let's move on. Let's
go ahead
go to
and
quick bites. You want me to do this one?
yeah.
I actually did watch this back.
Oh, I know TJ Hooker. Come on now.
Okay. We're kicking things off with a reboot no one saw coming and a sidekick William Shatner can't do. Netflix is reviving TJ Hooker, yes, the William Shatner cop show, as an action comedy movie. Expect retro vibes, iconic mustaches, and probably a few meta jokes about 80s TV tropes. Oh, we hope. If this ends with a slow mo car slide and a lens flare, we'll know J.J. Abrams consulted.
Man, it's one of those things where I don't know if we needed this, but at the same time, we probably need this.
When I told Husby about it, he said, "No, no, 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 no. Why? Why are they doing this?" That is exactly what he said. We were on the phone and I told him about it. And he was like,
Yeah.
"No, no, 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 no. Why are they doing this?"
TJ Hooker, the originator of the car slide.
It's just, oh man,
This is the
man.
man who originated the car slide, which
Uh,
I forgot what movie it was, but they one of the characters in the movie goes, "Oh yeah, I've always wanted to do this," and he goes to go do a car slide, and his gun holster scratches the paint on the car, and he was like, "That's why we don't do car slides because that happens."
right. And there's been some like parodies of it where they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna do the card slot," and then they try to, and then it just goes like the whole and it's just like, okay. But the TJ Hooker, that's who you have to thank for that.
Right.
TJ Hooker. Adrian Zamed was in that from Grease too, y'all.
Right. Let's continue on here. From throwback patrol cars to modern movie theaters. AMC Theaters is responding to studio complaints and audience fatigue by shortening its pre-show ad block. Studios reportedly pushed back on trailers being buried under 20 minutes of promos. Finally, an answer to the age-old question: how many Nicole Kidman monologues does it take to start a fucking movie? Um, this
You know they shortened it.
yeah, this annoyed the living crap out of me because it was just kind of like, okay, cool. I'm gonna like when I went to go see Superman, right? There was 45 minutes of ads, and it's like, I get it. You guys want to get paid back for all this money that you're not getting anymore. It's you're Netflixing the theater, but it
Yeah.
really pissed me off. That it's like that's just a waste of my time. You know, play your
Yeah.
ads before when everybody's getting in the theater. You know how like all the theaters now will do their whole movie or newbie and they do their little trivia and all that. Play your ads at that time and then give me trailers at the time the movie is supposed to start and then go to the
Mhm.
movie. I don't want all your thousands of ads and now I have to wait 45 minutes for this movie to start. That's just wasting my time. So I'm happy that they're shortening it. I'm sure they got enough complaints, not just from the studios, but from everybody in the theater getting pissed off about it.
Oh, yeah. Well, and they were going to have more ads. Like, that was the thing. I got it because 'cause I'm part of, like, the AMC, like, Premiere whatever, Stubs member or whatever,
Yeah, yeah.
and so I get emails and stuff, and it's like, "Hey, we're gonna add more ads, so we're just telling you, like, if you don't wanna see those, just come, like, at this time, and then you'll have that." And I'm like, "No, no, no, no." And you heard about my Fantastic Four, epic journey. So I saw ads. We were there before the movie and we saw ads and then we didn't get to see the movie. And waited a couple hours to see and to see it at a different on a different theater, like a different, screen, and then saw the ads again and then got to see the movie. So I was like, wow, I've seen a lot of ads today. So I am very happy that they're doing this.
Yeah.
But no, I love AMC. They did us so right with all the Fantastic Four issues,
Mhm.
and, we got to see the movie, we got free passes, and they refunded us the money, so I was like, "You guys rock, I love you." I didn't kiss him in the mouth, but, I probably would have at some point. I was pretty crazy and sugared up at that point.
Oh, man. Lucky you. Let's go ahead and move on here.
Let's head to the streaming graveyard. Oh, I should say that a little bit. Or Oh, I shouldn't be happy about this. Disney Plus has canceled Goosebumps after 2 seasons. Despite solid viewership and nostalgic appeal, the show didn't make the cut for Disney's evolving streaming strategy. Somewhere, Slappy the Dummy is plotting revenge in a dimly lit attic.
What's Disney's
I'm
strategy? I don't understand what their strategy is supposed to be because it's like, "Hey, we're gonna take a popular property, we're gonna
Mhm.
reboot it, we're gonna do it in a way that is both critically and, by the viewership is enjoyed,
Mm,
and then you cancel it because it's not part of your stream." What is your streaming strategy? I don't get it. Is it just Marvel and Star Wars and your in-house Disney stuff? Like, I don't get it.
right? Yeah, I don't know. I know we're gonna talk about this more in our long discussion because I know that there's some Disney stuff in that. So
Mhm.
I know we'll get into it more. I'm not sure they have a strategy. I don't know that anyone does. I think their strategy is to make money.
Yeah,
And they're like, we gave this time. We don't want to give money to this anymore. We want to give money to something else. And I feel like that's not the way to do it.
yeah.
But I mean, whatever.
Sounds like
But
an
I'm
version.
yeah, it's a we want now, not long-term plans, but whatever. All right. So let's move to the next drama.
We're gonna get into some controversy here, because speaking of Disney drama, Gina Carano has reached a settlement with Disney over her firing from The Mandalorian. The deal reportedly includes future job offers on the table, and Carano has broken her silence, calling the resolution a step toward healing. Cara Dune's return. Stranger things have happened. Just ask Darth Maul's torso. I don't know why I couldn't say torso correctly there. Uh,
It's still painful for you. I understand.
the torso and that he lost against Padme, yes, very
Yeah, yeah,
painful.
yeah. I know.
No, this this whole thing, I don't know how to feel about this because it's kind of like, okay, cool. You you got fired because of your mouth. You got fired because of the things that you were saying. And then you got mad because it was like my freedom of speech. No, you didn't go to jail, so your freedom of speech was not being infringed in any way.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
not how freedom of speech works, Gina. I know I'm a nobody and you're a giant star, but I mean that is not how freedom of speech works. Freedom of speech does not mean freedom from consequences. Okay. If you worked at McDonald's and you started preaching about how my people are experiencing a Holocaust and because of your political views, no, you would get fired because you can't talk about that stuff. It's inappropriate to talk about that stuff. Disney had a right to fire you because you kept opening your mouth and saying dumb things. Okay? They have a right as an organization to fire someone that works for them if you continuously continue to do things. I get so many people thought that that was the only reason she got fired, and it wasn't. She kept doing it, and they kept telling her to stop or we're going to let you go. It was to the point that Pedro Pascal had to tell her, dude, stop. And she kept doing it. And it
Yep.
was the Holocaust comments that were the last straw. And we're like, dude, you can't work for us anymore. Right. But now everybody's capitulating. We're going to go back to that word that James didn't understand. All these different corporations are capitulating because they want to kiss the ring. And hey, how's a way to show good faith that we're on your side? Let's make a settlement with Gina Carano. She can and we'll guarantee her jobs in the future, right? That's to me, it's like if you hire her because she's the right fit, that's one thing, right? But if
Mhm.
you fired her because kind of like she doesn't fit with what your company image is, and you're like, you know what? You need to clean up your act. And I'm sure they probably put that in there. It was like, we'll give you job offers as long as you keep it clean. You just shut your mouth and don't, you know,
Yeah.
talk about these kind of things, right? It's like, cool, have your positions. There are plenty of actors who hold unpopular opinions, but don't put it out there where they're losing work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, I will agree with her on the other end where it's like the people who do speak on the side of people who do agree on that side, like
Mhm.
people who want, meaning like, she's on the right, people on the left, the consequences should be similar, right? Just
Yeah.
because you shouldn't be putting politics in anything that's out there. And I get it, you want to put everything on social media, but when you're working for a company, don't 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 risk your job. Don't
Yeah.
put things out there that are inflaming, that are going
Right.
to piss off one side or the other. So
I agree with you. I
yeah.
do think that you know, I think it came down to Disney just wanted it to go away. And I believe that maybe I'm just a naive summer child, but I believe that they put in her contract, yeah, we will offer you roles. But I'm wondering exactly how good those roles are going to be. I'm wondering if the price point is going to be to her liking. I'm wondering if they're going to offer her roles and she's going to turn them down, and then they're going to be like, "Well, we offered you roles and you keep turning them down." So, you know,
And then
all right, we're done.
she's gonna complain about how, well, they're offering me derivative roles and they're offering me this and they're offering me, things that are less than what I feel I deserve. And it's like, well,
And
no.
then they can come back and say, "We're offering you roles commensurate to your talent."
Yeah. But
Because
it's
she
also
plays badass women, but she in her real life can't take that she can't say things and get away with it because she's a badass woman. No, sweetie, you're a woman in a patriarchy. So maybe think about the other women that have suffered so that you can say those things on X or wherever. And then, and if you get fired from a company that has nothing to do with free speech, go whine about it somewhere else
yeah.
because I'm done with her. I think that she is not a good person. I will not go out of my way to say anything nice about her.
Mhm.
And to be honest, I didn't even want to do this story because I didn't want to give her more time in the spotlight. I feel like she's reaching for 16 and she's been trying a long time and she complained her way into money so that she can get her hair dyed weird because her hair looks horrible right now. And just and she didn't have anything else. I haven't seen her in anything else. Have you seen her in anything else since you got
Uh,
fired?
I haven't seen her in anything, but she has been on things. She's been on these weird right wing, you know, websites and stuff like that. She's on like Charlie Kirk's like little movie attempts and stuff like that. She's in like that arena where like, she can only get work
Exactly.
on far right movies.
So
And
she's in the Dean Cain, Kevin Sorbo sphere now.
yes, yeah, absolutely. That's exactly where she's at.
Yeah. So all I'm saying is, if she does come back to the Mandalorian, I bet they kill her off pretty quick. I think Disney has smarter lawyers, as we've seen with the Florida thing, but has smarter lawyers than probably she had. And I'm betting the contract that she thinks is a sweetheart deal is not as sweetheart as she thinks it is.
Right.
That's all I'm saying, because let's face it, Bob Iger may not have a plan for Disney, but he sure knows how to hire lawyers.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Last comment I'm going to make before we move on to the next story, because we've spent too much time on this one. But Dean Cain is Overman. Okay, guys, he's not Superman. He's Overman. If you don't know who Overman is, Google Overman, and it'll make all the sense in the world. Okay. Let's go ahead and move on to the next story here.
Don't get me started about Dean Cain. Shorty.
Like I said, he's
From
Overman. He's not Superman. He's Overman. Look up
Right.
Overman DC. You guys will know. You will immediately. You'll probably laugh because you're gonna be like, "Oh no, yeah, okay, I see why he said that."
From legal settlements to legendary sabers. The original screen-used Darth Vader lightsaber from Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi is going to auction for $1 to $3 million.
Jesus.
That's one expensive glow stick. But hey, it did cut off Luke's hand and half the galaxy's hope.
Absolutely did. This is insane, the amount of money that it's going for, but I mean, it makes sense because it's the screen used Vader saber. You know,
Right.
it's only going to be the elite nerds that are going to buy that.
Yeah. And it's going to be battle worn. And it's probably not going to work, right? Because, I mean,
Well,
Vader used it.
you also have to remember in the IRL, right? It is not a usable lightsaber. It is the original hilt, screen used hilt that is designed for display. So it's not for like the lightsaber fans out there that are like, hey, I'm gonna get a lightsaber from Kyber Cave and pop that in there. No, it's not one of those.
Exactly. Right. But you can get lightsabers at Kyber Cave because they have merch.
They got merch, people.
Hello there.
Mm-hmm. That's what Obi-Wan would be like. Oh, hello there. Hello there, Vader's saber.
And then Vader would come in. Oh, you know what? I forgot to put my Wilhelm back on here. So, no, right there. Yes. All right. Let's move on here.
Oh, is that me again? Oh, that is me again. Okay. All right. Over in Marvel Land.
Thanks for watching.
Okay.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
John Bernthal has wrapped filming on Marvel's Punisher special presentation, shot in just 12 days.
Yeah, they shot that.
This project is described as a shotgun blast of a story with emotional depth. It would have to be for a 12-day shoot. That's all I'm saying. It's a shotgun blast of a story. I love that. The new costume screams, I've seen things. And yes, Frank Castle clears a warehouse faster than his shoot wrapped.
Yeah. Did you see the video of him thanking the crew?
It was so sweet. He is so sweet. He is such a sweet guy for somebody who plays such mean people all the time. But he's that same, it's the same, like, I get so annoyed with his characters a lot because how he plays them, but, I mean, that's what he's supposed to do. It's like John Cena. I get annoyed with John Cena stuff, but I do like John Cena is such a good person, and so is they're both Johns. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's move on. I can't. My mind's blown now.
Just Bernthal's his name is spelled the Jewish way, so
That's right. There you go.
But I mean, like, still, he is. I mean, he plays such gravelly Brooklyn. I'm gonna beat like brawler kind of guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing. Like Giancarlo Esposito plays such detestable, hateable people, but he's like the nicest guy in existence.
Right. Yeah. And that's like, it's so funny because people have such, because the only time they see them is with like their characters, and so like people are, I'm sure, are like, oh god, I don't know, John Barenthal, but you see all these videos with people and they're like, he was the coolest, nicest person ever, like, because he walks around like nothing and people come up to him and he does little videos with them, and I'm just like, why can't I live where he lives? No, not really. I don't want to live there anyway.
Well, let's go ahead and keep going here. Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. All right, James Marsden is officially back as Cyclops in Avengers Doomsday. He calls the experience a homecoming and says the costume still fits. Barely. Let's hope this time he gets more than 5 lines and doesn't die off screen while Wolverine flirts with his future wife.
That's hard to say. Wolverine flirts. I apologize. That was
No, it's fine. The thing is they've also said that Marsden's costume. It's funny how he says the costume still fits because I know he's playing that version of Cyclops, but they've also said that he is supposed to be in a comic accurate Jim Lee version of the costume.
Yeah, we reported on. There's that rumor last week that we
Yeah.
reported on that's what they're thinking about. I think it would be great. Look, he deserves a new outfit, right?
I just want to see
I
him in
mean,
the
you don't let somebody die off screen and don't give him a new fucking outfit. I mean, he deserves a new outfit.
I want to
Right?
see him in the navy blue. It would be awesome to see him in the navy blue costume.
I want to see that too. I have been waiting for comic book accurate outfits for all of them. Now, whether that's the Ultimates, I do love the little puffy jackets that they had in the Ultimates. I thought that was kind of cute. But I want all of it. I want to see Jean in the green dress and the weird mask. I want to see that. I
Oh,
don't know.
you want to see her like rocking the Marvel girl?
Yeah, like the old
Yeah.
school Marvel Gold thing. I wanna see that. But I think it would be great, like, how they did it with the Scarlet Witch in WandaVision, how it was like a Halloween costume or something. I think that would be funny if, like, there's a Halloween, like, scene in one of the movies or whatever, and you see them, like, dressed up as like that, and they're like, "What are you going as?" And it's like, "Oh, we're going as superheroes," and, like, but it's them as, anyway.
Yeah, no,
We've gone off on a tangent.
I'm just excited. Like what I've always wanted to see is if we're gonna get comic book accurate, I want that Jim Lee style. I want that
Mhm,
navy blue, yellow accent.
mhm.
Like especially with his of all the X-Men characters between him and Wolverine, they have the most iconic X-Men costumes, and that's
It's
what I want.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah. You think of the X-Men, the first 2 that come up with, like, specific, like, costumes that are iconic are Wolverine and, Cyclops.
And Cyclops. And again, I wanna see the Jim Lee version just because the, the old, like, the older Stanley versions with, like, the full head piece and, like, the bald cap on,
Yes.
like, that
It
would be
was like
cool
he was
too.
wearing a freaking wetsuit.
Yeah, like, that would be cool too, but I prefer this version with, like, the hair out and everything like that. I just there's something about that version just kinda just seems badass.
Mhm. Yeah.
Uh
Yeah, and it makes him look a little bit more assholey, so and we like that, so
Right, right. You want him to be a dickhead that seems like he's gonna leave his family. So,
there
let's
you
go ahead
go.
and move on.
In space, Sinestro can hear you scream.
Of course he can.
Ulrich Thompson has wrapped filming as Sinestro in HBO's Lantern series. He teased a positive return, saying, I'll keep one side for later. Because, he's Dutch. If he doesn't monologue about fear while floating ominously, then is he even the leader of the Sinestro Corps?
Absolutely not. If
I
he
thought it
doesn't
was
have
cute.
if he doesn't have a fear monologue in the Lantern series, then it's gonna be the first time I'll be upset with James Gunn.
That's true.
Like,
Uh,
Sinestro needs to be a blowhard. He needs to be such a fucking blowhard. Like, he needs to be so full of himself.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. He has to have that. It's not just that he's so confident that it's like not cocky. It's like he has this like impenetrable wall of knowing he's right. It really is that kind of, and that's the level of confidence he needs to have.
But there's also an air of aristocracy with the way that
Hmm.
Sinestro handles himself because he comes from royalty. So it's like
Yeah.
he has this "I'm better than you" attitude. And if he doesn't have
Right.
that as a character, he's not as interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's that's going to be really key. I do think that Ulrich Thompson has it. I think that he can do it. So
Yeah,
I hope they utilize him to his full potential.
right.
So. And let's go from space to 11th Street Kids. The Peacemaker doesn't know what pocket universe means.
Of course he doesn't. He
He
would.
doesn't. He does.
He
No, he
would.
wouldn't.
This version of this version of Peacemaker wouldn't.
He's
He's such
kind of
an
a
idiot.
Peacemaker / Booster Gold, I think. He just doesn't know
He
anything.
kind of is.
John
He's such an idiot, but I mean, I love him
Yeah.
though.
John Cena revealed his cameo in Superman was a last-minute call from James Gunn, and he said, "Heck yes." He confirmed that Peacemaker Season 2 will tie directly into the new DCU. Somewhere in the multiverse, Peacemaker and Lobo are probably arm wrestling over who gets the last protein bar.
Drop it or
That's
I
it.
frag you.
Or it's like Jason Momoa was on Jolly, and because they hadn't ever been to Hawaii, and so he was showing them his favorite place in Hawaii, and they had spam sushi, and I can't remember. I think it's called
Spam Misubi.
spam wasubi. Yeah, wasubi. Misubi, that's it. Yeah, Misubi. And I was just thinking maybe they would be fighting arm wrestling over who gets the last Masubi instead.
It's like one of my favorite
But-
snacks of all time. When we went to Hawaii, they sell spam masubi at like grocery stores.
Yeah, I hear it's like everywhere.
Yeah, when you go to like the deli section, they'll have like spam masubi that's just like wrapped in there, like in the warm section and whatnot. And I mean, all it is rice, teriyaki sauce, and spam. It's delicious though, but like
Yeah.
wrapped up as like sushi and soy wrap. So it's
like what is it? Bibbop?
bimbap.
Yeah, it's like that because that's just like rice. It's a rice cake with like seaweed, like
Yeah.
and they're really good. I love all that. But anyway, it doesn't. I said seaweed, and apparently my iPhone did not like that. So we've covered the cameos, the casting chaos, and the cape count. Now it's time to zoom out and ask, who's steering the ship?
Oh, we're gonna get here. Let's unpack the latest promises from Paramount's new Overlord and Disney's reigning reboot king.
Oh, you said that really gravelly. You gave it a lot of gravitas. I appreciate that.
We've heard it all before. Studio heads promising innovation, originality, and a bold new future right before greenlighting another sequel to a sequel to another sequel of a reboot. This week, cycle continues. David Ellison declares day one of a new Paramount as the Skydance merger closes, pitching a new tech-savvy studio built for the future. But behind the sleek branding, layoffs, legal baggage, and newsroom shakeup that feels more corporate than creative. Meanwhile, our good friend Bob Iger insists Disney is focused on creating new IP and values fresh ideas, but the release calendar tells a different story. Moana, Zootopia, Toy Story, Frozen, Inside Out, Star Wars, Marvel, Pixar, Fox, ABC, Hulu, ESPN, National Geographic, your childhood, your neighbor's childhood, your dog's favorite movie, all getting sequels, spin-offs, or reboots. So let's put the studio speeches in the rear view. This isn't about what they say. It's about what they make. And what they're making feels less like a creative renaissance and more like a nostalgic treadmill. So the question we're going to go over in these next couple of minutes here, this time that we have, is Ellison's new Paramount just old Hollywood with a tech facelift? Is Disney's idea of new IP just IP you haven't seen in a decade? And most importantly, who is actually investing in stories that surprise us?
Okay,
So-
let me answer all the questions real quick, and then you
Sure.
can go into your thing because I'm not going to say a ton of stuff on this. I mean, I could say a lot, but Ellison's new Paramount, Old Hollywood, I think that's true. When studios merge, layoffs happen, but it just seems like a lot of smoke and mirrors to me as far as that goes. And Disney's idea of new IP is, yeah, Disney's idea for new IP has been what you haven't seen in the last 10 years forever. That has been their bread and butter since Disney began, really, to be honest with you. And I don't see it changing. And I really think good old Bobby Iger might need to let somebody else take the reins. It didn't work when he chose the person. Maybe don't let him choose. Maybe pick somebody else, somebody that might have a better vision. Do interviews. I don't know. Like actually do a job. And the most important, and that most it says most importantly, who's actually investing in stories that surprise us. A24.
Yeah.
A24. Yeah, that's it. How many A24 movies have we all just loved? And like there are like I'll watch a trailer and I'm like, "Oh, this is so good." And then later I find out, "Oh, that's an A24 movie."
Yeah.
Oh, that's why. That's why. Oh, so yeah.
Yeah. No, I agree with what you're saying right there. Now, my issues here, David Ellison is he's a bootlicker at this point. Just the way that he's going about everything, the people that he's firing, the people that just the way that he's going about Paramount. I get he might be trying to cut the fat because Paramount has not been successful in the last couple of years. They have successful IPs, but
Right.
Paramount in itself as an organization has not been very successful, and that's been kind of like a big issue that's been happening in the industry. Is how do we fix Paramount? How do we do this? We tried to do Paramount Plus. It didn't work out the way that we thought it was going to. People didn't gravitate towards Star Trek. Weirdly enough, people didn't gravitate towards Star Trek the way that they thought they were going to. They went into these big budget
Yeah.
TV shows, and they were really well done, and there's so much that Paramount offers that is good, but David Ellison, and Skydance buy everything out, and they're just like, no, we're gonna start getting rid of everything that we can,
Yeah.
and we're just not gonna we're not gonna hold on to anything anymore. Now, Disney, I have been complaining about this for a while, and I've had like full on arguments with James on the show about this because Bob Iger, all he's doing is what is going to make us money. It's not how can we be the most creative. I think we did. There was a reel that we did a while back, specifically about Bob Iger. If Walt Disney were alive, set aside the problematic stuff with Walt Disney, but if Walt Disney were alive today, would he be proud of what Bob Iger is doing with his company? And the answer is
The
no.
answer is no.
The
Yeah.
answer is absolutely not. Why? Because Walt Disney was a risk taker. Walt Disney was take this story that I know is a good story and let's find a way to knock this out of the park. You
Yeah, I have a feeling if Walt was still alive or the Disney family was still involved, like, Silo would be a Disney product
Yes.
because that's something that, like his family, like the reason freaking Mary Poppins even happened was because his daughter, like Walt Disney's daughters, loved it and they read it
Mm,
together and he wanted to do it.
yeah.
And that's the only reason. There wasn't anybody going, "We need a Mary Poppins movie." No one was saying that. And then it becomes such a big thing for Disney. So it's like, and 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, he did that. Like he
Uh,
went to literary things and did stuff with that. Now, a lot of times Walt kind of bastardized them and,
He did.
Sleeping Beauty.
He did.
Sleeping
But
Beauty
at
is
the
the
same
perfect
time,
example of that, but
like at the same time, what Walt was doing, and he like there are interviews with him talking about it, is modernizing the fairy tales. Because if you look at a
mhm,
lot of the stories that they did, these stories were horrifying. Like you look at
yeah.
Snow White, it is a horrifying story. If you look at this was after his time, but if you look at the Little Mermaid, like the
Oh,
little
yeah, that's horrifying. Yep,
right,
yep.
the
She
Little
gets
Mermaid is
turned into sea foam.
right, but not just that, she was a green sea monster. Her whole thing,
Yeah.
um, in the original story, right? In the Disney story, she magically loses her voice, and Ursula takes the voice and controls the voice, right?
Mhm.
In the original story, the Sea Witch cuts out her tongue.
Yeah, yeah, no, I mean, it's pretty brutal.
Right.
It's pretty brutal, yeah.
She can't walk at any point in the story. She does not learn how to walk because every time she tries to take a step, it feels like glass shards are going through her feet. It's
Yeah,
there are so many different messed up things about The Little Mermaid. They
mhm,
changed the entire story to make it something that was more digestible for people. Uh,
right,
if you look at what they're doing right now, right? They're doing is rehashing IP that they already have. Well, the IP that they're rehashing was original when it came out.
yeah, yeah,
Moana is an original story. Moana is a
yep,
we took mythology that exists that didn't have a story. We took a period of time where Polynesians weren't sailing, and when we put two and two together and said, let's create a story that tells that story. And we're
yeah,
telling everybody it is a fictional story, but at the same time, it honors the legends and the mythology that exists there. Zootopia was very original. It was very fun way to go. Toy Story was one of the most original stories that became a massive
mhm,
franchise, but I mean, like, it was original. Frozen was one of the last projects that Walt Disney was working on that he couldn't figure out how to do.
yeah. Well, like, Encanto,
Encanto is
that's
another one.
totally original. Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, like, so there's so many things that you can do, and just rehashing stuff over and over again. Although, I am also a fan of reboots too, because like, I've been on threads, like, talking on threads and talking on Blue Sky about how Pedro Pascal needs to be Burt
needs to
Reynolds
be
in
Burt
something.
Reynolds. Yeah, 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 yeah. I
He
think
needs to
we
be
need
either a Burt Reynolds character or, like, I'm like, Cannonball Run, Smokey and the
Smokey
Bandit.
and the Bandit
Let's
for sure.
redo these.
Smokey and the
Yeah.
Bandit they could do today. Um, I mean, I agree. Reboots are fine to an extent. What I do like is some of these reboots where they're taking, like, I like the idea of taking a movie that was successful in the 80s and telling that story 30 years later. What happened
Right.
30 years from this story? Literally, the number one movie in the country right now is The Naked Gun, and it's about Frank Drebin Jr. It is about
Yeah.
Frank Drebin's son,
Yeah.
right? Tron Ares is a reboot, or is a continuation of a reboot, but they're rebooting a series from the 80s that became a cult classic, but was not successful when it came out. Tron was
Yeah.
by any stretch of imagination, Tron was not a successful movie.
It was a flop.
It was. Tron
Yeah.
was, but what happened is it was a cult classic because of all the concepts in it. It
Mhm.
became something that was like Tron became more than what they intended it to be, and they had to do a reboot. I personally liked the new Tron movie. A
Yeah.
lot of people
Yeah,
hated
yeah.
it, right? I actually enjoyed it. I love the update on the series, and this is what happens as everything kind of updates. And I love the idea of taking it a step further and doing a commentary on AI, but doing characters that were in the grid and are now in our world.
Right.
I love
Yeah.
that idea. I'm all in for Tron Ares, and I haven't even seen Tron Ares yet. I haven't even seen a trailer
Yeah.
for it yet.
Oh, there's a trailer out
I
recently. I
know.
don't think
I
I
haven't
watched it
yet.
either, though. I
Yeah,
haven't watched it though. No, so speaking of Tron, I think the original Tron was just before its time. Just like
it
I
was.
think that movie The Black Hole, when they did it, I think it was before its time. If
That's
they had done it later, I think it would have been a lot better because it didn't do very well, but it's a really solid movie. So Disney doesn't have a problem making really good movies. It's just they've lost the risk takerness of
yeah,
it, and
yeah.
they need to get that back. And I think
Uh,
that, that and I'm putting a pin in the Skydance Paramount thing. Maybe Ellison will, get
I
this done and
I'm
eventually they'll get to
interested in
hire people back and,
yeah,
but I have very little faith. Being a studio head, the only one I really trust right now, and I kind of wish he would stop talking just so I don't have to report on him every week, is James Gunn. That is the only him and Peter Safran. Those are the only 2 studio heads at the moment that I can trust. I don't know A24 studio head. I trust them too. I don't know, but I don't think they have a studio head. I think they have people like
They're
a
a collective.
committee that
Yeah,
huh?
they're a collective.
Right.
Them
So that's
and
why I was like, I don't think they do.
them and Blumhouse. I mean, Blumhouse is starting
Yeah.
to get into the reboot arena too, but I mean, like for the most part, Blumhouse, they take original horror ideas and they'll invest in it. You know,
Yeah.
you may or may not be a fan of horror. I know you're not a fan of horror, but I mean, like he is investing in original IP. He's investing. Blum is Jason Blum is investing in original IP, and that's the only way where you can drive art forward. Jeff
Right.
in the chat saying easy solution for all of that, let artists do art, and I agree with that. I 100% agree with
Yeah.
that. I've always said the problem with the problem that DC had originally was because studio heads would put their hands in the cookie jar and not let artists do their art. Let
Yeah.
them do their art. If you allow them to do their art, things tend to be better, especially if you find somebody who actually cares about what it is that they're doing, right? If you have
Yeah.
someone like James Gunn who cares so much about comic books and DC and everything that he's working on, that he wants to do something that not only appeals to mass audiences but also appeals to the fans who already love this stuff. Like, don't
Yeah.
alienate people who are already here. Don't alienate your built-in fan base in order to put a bet on maybe we can get different fans, or maybe we
Right.
can try and get a different fan base. No, you have a built-in fan base. You have millions of nerds that love comic books. Make
Mhm.
movies for us with good stories,
Yeah.
i.e. Superman,
Yeah.
and everybody will come into that because it's like not only is it a good movie for fans of the comic books, but also it's generally a good movie. So people
Yeah.
are going to go and watch that. That's what you
Mhm.
need. You know, it's things
Yeah.
like that. Um, Another thing I'm going to bring up real quick here is where I feel like Bob Iger has lost the point. You know, is what's going on with ESPN, right?
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah. I just don't think Bob Iger has a plan. I think he's piecemealing it together as he goes along. It's clear that James Gunn has a plan. He
mhm,
has a plan, he has a strategy, and so far he's delivered on it. And I think as long as he delivers on it, everybody's going to be happy.
yeah.
If he doesn't, then
Yeah. Well,
who knows?
James is in the chat right now, and I
Mhm.
know he knows what I'm going to bring up right now because I was just talking about what he's doing with ESPN. So, and also what's going on. So, on the wrestling front, right? They just announced that PLE's premium live events are no longer going to be on Peacock as of next year. Peacock is $10 a month, right? It
Yeah,
is affordable. They are moving everything over to the ESPN Plus app, and it's going to be $30 a month.
that's ridiculous. And like the Disney Plus app, you can get some ESPN stuff, but you can't get all of the ESPN Plus stuff.
Yeah.
And that's a joke.
Yeah, it's a combination of Bob Iger and Nick Khan, who is the guy who runs WWE. It's a combination of both of them
Mhm.
thinking that their fan base is worthless and stupid.
And gonna pay whatever price
Right.
they ask them to pay.
They think that, okay, well, you know, we convinced all these people to leave the $5 a month WWE app that had everything and worked perfectly. We convinced all these people to switch over to Peacock, which is not as good, but I mean, this is the only place where I can watch the live events. It's the only place where I can watch the main events. And then now they announce, oh, well, you know what? Our fans are so loyal to us that when we switch them over to the ESPN app and force them to pay $30 a month for for this app, which I get it. It's not just WWE. You're also getting the NFL Network because the NFL Network just signed a deal to work exclusively in that app. But why do I want to pay $30 a month for one app on top of $25 a month for Netflix, on top of
Right.
whatever? I mean, it's so much more than cable. I might as well just go and get cable again.
Yep. Yep.
You know, like it is so, to us as fans, it is so disrespectful to look at us in this way, knowing that the economy is the way it is. I get it. They're just sitting here like, oh no, the economy's fine because, you know, they say that it's fine. You know, we're going to go with what they're saying right here. So you can afford, you know, because of all this excess money that you're going to be having, you can afford a $30 a month app. And it's like, no.
Yeah.
Even if we were as rich as they want to say that they want to gaslight us into believing that we are, nobody wants to pay $30 a month for an app.
I don't want to pay anything for an app. I'm cheap.
I mean, yeah, if it's something that's included in something, I would rather that.
Right. Yeah, I don't mind if it's like multiple things, like multiple. Like I can watch Hulu on Disney Plus, so I get to watch the Hulu stuff. So if they could, if they did that, but they won't. And you know what? I think we've beaten this.
We have.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get off my soapbox right now. It is definitely something that, the final point that I'm gonna make is, hey, heads of the studios, all of you guys running all the studios and everybody out there, we're not as dumb as you think we are. And
No, we're not.
you all think that we are gullible and we are just going to give you whatever money you ask for in order to entertain us. But it goes the opposite way, guys, because you think that we won't, you think that we won't stop paying for this stuff.
Right.
And the proof in the pudding is how all of you guys are scrambling over ticket sales at theaters and how nobody's going to go see movies right now. It's because you guys have outpriced everything.
Yep. Exactamundo.
Yeah, we're not dumb and we deal with it for the most part, but after a while, people are going to revolt against you. And if money is all you care about, you're going to lose a lot of it.
Yep.
That's not a threat. That's a promise.
Welcome to our A24 overlords.
Support indie movies. Let's go. All right.
Support indie studio heads.
Yeah, support indie filmmaking. Go to YouTube and go watch Deadpool versus John Wick.